2018 Jeep Compass 4x4 2.0. Now in its second generation, the Compass boasts sharp looks and all-terrain talent at an easy-to-swallow price. A 2.4-liter inline-four sends 180 HP to the front or all wheels through a 6-speed manual or a 6 or 9-speed automatic transmission. The Compass feels sluggish when pushed but is composed on the road, and the available Trailhawk model has real off-road chops. Standard Uconic infotainment and optional Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are welcome luxuries in a comfortable cabin. Let us praise the virtues of simplicity. There is nothing tricky, complex, or leading edge about the Jeep Compass in its bargain price sport trim. It is straightforward engineering in a bare box, unpretentious at a time when prudence is the only thing some crossovers have going for them. It's not luxurious and won't readily scramble across Moab's rocks. The level of refinement is, well, modest. It's also not full of technology that will age rapidly and fail suddenly. This one didn't even have an automatic transmission. But it's surprisingly not that unpleasant, even make that particularly into this low-end, no-frills, DIY shifting sport form. It's not quick, either. But hey, it costs only about a quarter of what a Grand Cherokee Trackhawk does. The original Compass wore out its welcome within minutes of its debut as a 2007 model. It was crude, nasty handling, dog-slow, and awkward-looking. The name says Jeep, we summarized after our first encounter with the Compass. But the vibe says cheap. It was easy to hate on both the continuously variable automatic transmission CVT and the tire noise. At times the booming tire roar made the Compass no quieter than the cargo hold of a 747 we rode, as if we regularly flew in a 747's cargo hold. The Compass fraternal twin, the boxier Patriot, was no better. Born again. The Patriot is gone and already pretty much forgotten. But after 10 grim seasons, the front-wheel drive-based Compass has entered its second generation. On the whole, it's an aesthetic success. The bodywork has a mini Grand Cherokee vibe, with squared-off wheel openings, a handsome greenhouse, and a rugged countenance. The Sport doesn't carry much decoration or the contrasting black roof of fancier Latitude, Trailhawk, and limited models. The cheesiest elements in the design are the dicky 16-inch wheels, which drown in the gaping maw of the wheel wells. Those wheels are wrapped in 215/65 R16 all-season rubber that apparently assigned a non-aggression packed with every possible on- and off-road surface. Second on the cheese plate are the 7 decorative plastic pieces up front simulating the Compass grille. They're solid, so they allow no airflow and serve no purpose beyond stylistically connecting to other Jeeps with functional 7-slot grilles. In fact, the Compass is a bottom breather that takes in all its engine cooling air through openings in the lower front bumper cover. Under the skin, the new Compass is a slightly larger version of the subcompact Renegade. Which means there's also plenty of Fiat 500X in this vehicle's soul and not much in the way of innovation. It's a conventional unibody, albeit with struts at every corner. In 4x4 versions, like this test vehicle, the rear suspension and differential are carried on a rubber-isolated steel subframe. The Compass 103.8-inch wheelbase is 2.6 inches longer than the Renegade's, and at 173.0 inches, the Compass is 6.4 inches longer overall but no wider. The longer wheelbase helps the Compass ride better than the Renegade but not by a wide margin. From the jungle and the sea. All Compass models are powered by Fiat Chrysler's Tigershark 2.4-liter inline-four, rated at a so-so 180 horsepower. It doesn't inspire much affection, but it's not miserable in its work, either. It has a red wing boot sort of charm. The previous Compass used an utterly annoying CVT in most versions. But the new Compass has stepped up to a 6-speed automatic in front drive models and FCA's sometimes frustrating 9-speed automatic in 4x4s. But our test example had the standard 6-speed manual, and it is by far the best choice of the three. The C635 6-speed manual's lower 4 gears are relatively closely spaced, with fifth a 0.851 overdrive and sixth an off-the-cliff 0.671 overdrive. What's good about this Italy-made transmission is that the manual operation allows the driver to hold any gear as long as they would like. That's an enormous advantage with an engine that peaks at only 175 lb-ft of torque and needs to spin at 3,900 revolutions per minute to achieve that figure. In low traction situations, it makes maintaining forward progress far more straightforward than with an automatic. And the shift action is pretty good. The stick moves with little effort, always finds the gears it's supposed to find, and the clutch pedal's action is light. No, it doesn't operate with clock-like certainty, nor does it have the playful character of the 6-speed manual in a Mazda Miata. But up against the competition in its segment, the Compass is an engaging driving companion. The Compass Ace in the Helioque, maybe it's more like a Jaguar Equinox, the active drive all-wheel drive system. In the Compass, Jeep reserves a more sophisticated system for the off-road oriented Trailhawk. But the single-range system in the Sport is enough to keep the vehicle out of trouble in most sloppy situations. And when things get truly goofy, various programs optimized for driving in snow, sand, or mud can be selected. Around town, the Compass usually operates as a front-wheel drive vehicle, with some torque transferred to the rear wheels only when the lack of traction up front gets dire. It's enough for most snowy conditions or when a dirt road turns to mud or when sand blows across the pavement, but not much beyond that. Money matters. At the Sport's $22,090 base price on as $1,500, the Compass interior is a throwback. The fabric on the seats is rugged, the carpet ice plush, and the plastic pieces are very plasticky. The equipment level is modest, but many 21st century essentials are accounted for: power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, a backup camera, and push-button start are standard. After all, we are a civilized people. Our test vehicle was further equipped with the 595 Sport Appearance Group aluminum wheels, tinted glass, and roof rails, the 695 Cold Weather Group heated front seats, a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, floor mats, and a windshield wiper deicer, and the 495 Technology Group satellite radio and rear parking sensors. A 245 compact spare tire brought the total to $25,620. That's very affordable for a useful, roomy vehicle with all-wheel drive. We tested a 2017 Compass for this review. For the 2018 model year, prices have increased slightly, and the Technology Group adds a bunch more features than before. But the compromises are apparent. The 5.0-inch center touchscreen display is so small as to restrict the backup camera's usefulness. There's not much in the way of support in the seats, and this is not a quiet cruiser. It never does anything untoward on the road, but it never does anything particularly entertaining or impressive, either. Road holding is modest, with the Compass orbiting our skid pad at 0.80 grams. This Compass reached 60 miles per hour from a stop in 8.4 seconds, confirming that the laws of physics still apply to 3,416-pound Jeeps with 180 horsepower aboard. Don't expect this engine to pull well in 6th gear, and it's also not thrilled about 5th. Those two gears are overdrives, and they're somewhat useful when cruising in them on an interstate, freeway, or down the eastern slope of the Rockies. But up the slightest grade, it feels as if a drag chute has just deployed. For many situations, 4th is the best cruising gear, and sometimes passing will mean dropping down to 3rd. In daily driving, there's something fundamentally appealing about such an unpretentious machine. It's the sort that will wear its parking lot dings, shopping cart scrapes, and scratched bumper covers with noble pride. It's nothing special, and that makes it kind of special. If you want driver engagement in this category of vehicle, you should buy a Mazda CX-5. And the Honda CR-V has it all over the Compass in terms of utility and refinement. but the least expensive all-wheel drive CX-5 Sport and CR-V LX are almost $3,000 more than the Compass Sport 4X4, with the difference likely even greater once dealer discounting comes into play. At this price-sensitive end of the market, that matters. In places like Montana, Vermont, or Colorado, where all-wheel drive is a virtual necessity and commutes are rarely stop and go, the Compass Sport 4X4 is an attractive alternative to yet another Subaru. And it looks more or less like a Jeep.